Okay, love you. I can't hear.
Oh, okay.
I
Claudia,
got
can you
you.
hear me?
I
You hear
got you
me
now.
now? All right,
Yeah.
yeah. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to special edition Steel City Sports World. Luther Dupree, Claudio. We got Smokin Jim in the house. Smokin Jim, can you hear us?
I can hear you and Claudio very well.
All right, you hear him, Claudio? Claudio. Oh, okay, cool, cool. Listen, man, I want to thank everybody. If you have some comments, make sure you definitely send them to us. We'll be reading comments and everything else. Number to call, if you want to call in on the show, is 412-530-5063. But without further ado, we want to give the coach, the Hall of Famer, Claudia, what do you have for us in our Steel City News?
All right. Well, a couple of things. First of all, the Pirates are disappointing me again, not just so much for this season, but for next season. I said that they should bring up their number one draft pick, Paul Skeens, and get him acclimated to Major League Baseball this year. Just give him 2, 3 starts in September, at least two. This way, he knows the Major League lifestyle. He knows the the speed of the game, and he'll be ready to hit the ground running next year. If all of you say, the Pirate organization say, we're going to make a playoff run in 2024, and they didn't do it. Are they going to come up with a game plan to improve the team that they have? What have I always said? If you're not going to buy a brand new car, fix up the one that you have. Are you going to fix up the team that you have? Right now, I don't know. There was an old song years ago. I saw the sign, all right, something like that. Well, I don't see any signs of them really improving, but I guarantee you, remember what I'm telling you right now, St. Louis Cardinals will not finish last place next year. Chicago Cubs are going to be better next year. Let's see if the Pirates will. And finally, I've been very blessed now to go into my 19th year at Carnegie Mellon University as head baseball coach. We have our first game this coming Sunday against the Canadian travel team for a trophy named after my parents. I expect to win that. But I have a very special group as always, and I'm just very grateful to have the opportunity to coach at that great school, to coach great young men again. The 19th year. Really, I've been lucky for 40 years now. Finish up my 40th year of coaching, so I've been very blessed.
Congratulations, Claudio, man. That's beautiful, man. Smokin Jim, what do you have for? Oh, before we do it, the words you're about to hear reflect Smokin Jim's thinking and don't reflect mine, Claudio, or anybody else you're going to hear. That being said, Smokin Jim, it's all yours.
Hey, thanks, Luca, and congratulations on 19 great years, Claudio. You know, on draft day, I gave the Steelers a deep draft. The Steelers have 0 rookies that is in their start lineup. Broderick Jones is behind Dan All-Pro Moore. Joey Porter Jr. is behind everybody. Keno Benton is a 4-time high school wrestling state champ. He should be in the WWE, the NXT, the AEW, but Jackie, stay out of the NFL. Alan Faneca, day 1 starter. John Reeser was on steroids and had a mental breakdown, and he still started and played well as a rookie. And bankrupt Leon Searcy went out 7 days a week, didn't come home before sunrise. He partied harder than Bobby Lane and Bob Huggins, but he still started every game as a rookie. Kendall Simmons, Marie Pouncey, David DeCastro, all day 1 starters. The Steelers didn't have to give up a first round and a 3rd round draft choice to move up like they did to get Broderick Sugar Bear Jones. I'm ready to draft a D, and it's still a D.
Wow, Smokin Jim, I definitely disagree with that. A D? A D? You don't like Herbig? I think he's going to be a star. We know Watt is going to miss some games as well as Highsmith, and I think he could jump right in there. He was the highest scored rookie in preseason. I think there's some great things coming up for him, man, Smokin Jim. I definitely disagree with that. But I want to take a page out of Kelly's book. I want to go to a You Deserve Credit. Coco Gauff. We see a picture of her when she first started watching Venus and Serena in the playing tennis, and now she's back in the championship. Much credit to her. I think she can take the mantle that Serena and Venus have left for, and I think she can continue, having success with USA tennis. I'm happy for her. I think she's doing a great job, and I'm, no more. I can't say anything else. Also, of course, we got to talk about Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders already turned Colorado into the hottest game in the ticket. I mean, last year tickets you could go for about $200. This year it's over $400, $500 for a ticket. It's a beautiful thing, and I'm excited about what he's doing for college football and also HBCUs. Diddy Puff Daddy just gave $1 million to Jackson State off the strength of Deion Sanders' name. He put Jackson State back on the map, and now he's doing the same thing with Colorado, the hottest team in college, maybe the hottest game in sports. So I'm loving it. We already got somebody in, Lee McGinnis, the legend, Lee McGinnis. He said, shout out to Smokin Jim and Sugar Bear Jones. All right. Lee McGinnis. All right. Colorado Buffaloes, national champs. Wow. Okay. Well, if you're a betting man, and I hear you are, Jim, or maybe Lee, put some money on that. You probably get some good odds on that. But listen, I think we got a caller on the line. I think it's Sean. Sean, say your name where you're calling from.
Hey guys, what's up? Sean from Ohio.
Hey, Sean.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Congratulations, Claudio. 19 years as a head coach.
Thank you.
You've seen it all.
Thank you.
Couple things. I didn't get a chance to talk about Spence and Crawford because I was up in Seattle right after the fight happened, and I was actually in Vancouver during the time that last show was on, so I didn't have a chance to get in touch with you guys. Looks like Spence, the weight drain caught up to him. It looks like they're going to fight again at 154. I don't know if I would have took the fight that quick, but in boxing, money talks, and Bud may have came over to the PBC at the wrong time because who is over there to fight him now?
Whoa, hold on. Sean, you said the wrong time? He just fought.
Here's why.
Yeah, please explain that. I disagree.
No. Here's why. This is why I say the wrong time. It would have been perfect for him to fight Charlo, but the older Charlo hasn't fought in 2 years, so Canelo handpicked the Charlo that Crawford wants to fight. That's why I'm saying it's he just came over at the wrong time right now. So actually, I would have rather him fight Charlo next, but unfortunately, Canelo still runs boxing. So remember, I was in Seattle. I ran into Benavidez.
Right.
Canelo don't want to fight Benavidez. Remember, I was up in Seattle and ran into Benavidez my last day there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I said Crawford, out of all time, to come over to the PBC, this would have been perfect for him to fight Charlo. And they both are undisputed at their weight class. It'd have been perfect, but Charlo's going 2 weight classes up now.
Right.
That's the only thing. That's what I meant by that. That's what I meant by that.
Actually, I think yes, I would have liked him to come over earlier, but look, he got his biggest payday against Spence, $30 million. He's going to have another big payday in December because Errol Spence just activated the rematch. So that's another major fight. And then there's still a young bull, Jerron Boots Enos is there. There's Jamel Charlo. There's Canelo. There's Tim Tszyu, maybe even in Australia. I think this is the hottest Bud has ever been. I think he could have been a bigger star if he would have gone over to the PBC before. But right now, Bud is the hottest thing in boxing right now. I mean, what he did to Spence.
I agree. I agree with you on that. I agree he's the hottest thing in boxing. It's just that everybody don't want to see him fight Spence again. Nope. A lot of people don't want to see that fight again.
True.
And that's what I'm saying. And then here's another thing. Is people going to look at Bob Arum different. Because remember, Bob Arum was the one that was saying, oh, we can't make money off Bud. We can't make money off Bud. I'm losing money off Bud. Is it a Bob Arum thing? Was Spence always with the wrong person at the wrong time?
Yeah, I mean,
because Sean Porter, I don't know how much he made off that fight, but Sean Porter was a name in which, you could have made money off of that. So it's like, but that's the game of boxing.
Yeah.
Couple other things. Watch some college football this year. I'm a Penn State alumni. Their line play is going to determine how far they go. Looks like they have a passer now that they finally got rid of Clifford.
Was he there like 7 years? It seemed like he spent a decade at Penn State, Sean. It seemed like he was there forever.
This is all you need to know. When Clifford was a senior at St. Xavier here in Ohio when they won state, Big Paris Johnson was a freshman on the team.
Wow.
And they went into the same draft. That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know.
Okay.
That's all you need to know. So, looks like Penn State, their offensive defensive line will will make or break them. I saw Ohio State. I don't like what I saw. Don't be mad what I'm about to say. I'm going to preface this by what I'm about to say. The last time Ohio State had a non-black quarterback, I want to say was when they won the national championship in 2002 against Miami. So I don't know what's going on, but they got to do better with their quarterbacks because their quarterback play did not look good, and the quarterback was Marvin Harrison's high school quarterback. You would think
it's his first game. It's his first game. You already ready to throw him under the bus, Sean? He can't have a chance to really get in there.
I'm up there already. They're not happy. They're not happy. Ohio State's been spoiled with quarterbacks.
True.
They've been spoiled. They've been spoiled. They're not happy. So I'm going to leave it at that. And can I say one more thing, and then I'll make a comment about the Steelers?
Of course. Sure.
I'm tired of the local media in Pittsburgh, especially 93.7 The Fan. I'm not going to call out names.
Call out names. We don't care.
No. I'm not going to call out names because I don't live there. I just overheard on one of the stations. I want to say it was the 3 to 6 p.m., whatever time slot it was.
Mm-hmm.
They keep throwing Penn State under the bus because they don't want to play Pitt.
Mm.
Penn State's motto is they're unraveled. Let them be unraveled, Pitt. If you want a rivalry, go down 79, play West Virginia. Play them every year. Forget about Penn State. Penn State doesn't even have a rivalry in the Big Ten. The way they're doing their schedules now. They don't have a rival. They're the only team in the Big Ten that doesn't have a rival. Pitt, let it go. Penn State don't want no rival. Y'all local radio people sound so stupid. Oh, Penn State, they scared to play Pitt. They don't want to play them. Let it go. Go down 79, play West Virginia every year. Make that game mean something. Play the people who want to play you. Stop kissing up Penn State's butt. Let them go. Let them go.
All right, sure.
I'm just tired of hearing the local radio stations about it. Let it go. Y'all should play West Virginia every year and let it be. Let it be. Penn State, they say they're unraveled. Let them be unraveled.
Hey, Sean, a couple people in some comments. Sure. We got Zach Brenner is in there. He's saying Penn State is whack. Frank Jackson, Penn State is trash, bro. We got a couple Pitt alums. They don't like Penn State so far, man.
I'm a Penn State alumni. Tell them I'm a Penn State alumni.
All right.
Penn State don't want no rivalry. So let it go. Play West Virginia every year. Play them every year. Penn State don't want no rivalry with nobody. They must didn't hear what I said. Big Ten, they have, since they threw out the divisions, you get protected games. Penn State don't got no protected game.
True.
They don't have none. Let it go, Pitt. That's all I'm saying. Pitt, let it go. It would be best for y'all to let it go. Play West Virginia every year. You saw how that played out last year, first game of the season. ESPN actually wants that game to be one of their games to open the season. Live off that, especially with especially with the way the TV stuff is now. So let that go. One final thing about the Steelers, I think they're going to surprise some people this year. Mm-hmm. Smokin Jim, I'm gonna disagree with you about what you said about the first and second round picks. I actually think it's a good thing that they're not starting, and the reason being is, it may help the Steelers out in the future with contracts. Because I think if Dan Moore could start at left tackle, move him over to right tackle, let Shoots go, and slide Broderick in left tackle, Joey Porter Jr., he can learn from Patrick Peterson. There's still things he has to work on. He's good, but he's still got things to work on. I like the pickup that they got. I forget the outside linebacker's name that's been killing in preseason. He killed the field.
Yeah.
Is he the local kid, or is he from Wisconsin?
He's from Wisconsin. He's T.J. Watt's protege.
Okay.
Yeah, T.J. Watt's been working with him for years.
Well, I think the Steelers have a good roster. One final thing, the middle linebacker play is going to make or break them this year because last year after the first game of the season, their middle linebackers had no fumbles caused, no fumble recoveries, or no interceptions.
Okay. Hey, I definitely think we've upgraded a whole lot from last year. Miles Jack retired. Devin Bush is on the bench, or did he get cut? I'm not sure. But look at what we had last year to compare to this year, man. I like our middle linebacker play. But again, we haven't had one game yet. What we got to see.
Yeah.
But
one final thing, I'm gonna leave it off at this.
All right.
This is it. From what I'm hearing, Westinghouse is loaded again.
Yes, they are.
Trip back up to Hershey with them.
Woo! Well, I mean, it's the 2A is tough around here, man. Farrell is good. Still Valley is good. Amani, a team that we covered, is good. I mean, 2A is one of the most loaded divisions.
2A now?
Yes, they're 2A.
Okay. From what I'm hearing, Westinghouse defense maybe, I ain't going to say better than last year, but they're up to par. Their offense got to catch up with the defense. But
Facts.
Any coach, as long as the defense is good, you can get the offense up to par.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Hey, Sean, man, well, thanks. You started off with a bang, man.
John.
Hey, who do you have in that, before you go, who do you have in the Charlo-Canelo fight?
Oh, I forgot about that.
It's September 30th. It's coming up.
Only way Charlo wins this fight, he got to knock Canelo out.
Right. I agree. I don't think he has a chance on the card.
He has to. It's one or two things. He has to knock him out, or he has to beat him so badly. Because the fights in Vegas, we've seen how judges judge fights when it comes to Canelo. Even when Floyd Mayweather beat Canelo,
those scorecards are filled out already. Those scorecards are filled out already. Jermell Charlo has to go for the knockout. I mean, no question asked. I definitely agree with that, man. All right, Sean, appreciate you, man.
Hey, Sean.
Okay, guys, look forward to talking to y'all throughout the season. It's our time of the year in football. Let's go.
This time of the year, yes. Hey, let's go to some of the comments that we had. Well, if there's another call, we'll take that in a little bit. So, all right, we had Lee McGinnis back in there, free Bomac. Yeah, Bomac is in jail, Claudio. He got caught with a handgun in the UK.
What did he do?
He had a handgun, and he was training Chris Eubanks Jr., and they found a handgun. So he's waiting for his day in court. It's just bad news. All these guys with guns. You got to know the gun charges when you go to other countries, Why not get protection? Why carry a gun? Just get protection. All right. I think we got this. Zach Brennan. He said Penn State is whack. So did Frank Jackson. Penn State is trash. Zach held a Pitt. Lee McGinnis, he's a state Penn alumni. Come on, Lee. All right. Zach Brennan's giving Smokin Jim a shout out. Hope all is well. And he's giving us a shout out as well. And of course, knowing Zach, he's always representing Still Valley. I can't wait to see him when Amani plays him in 2 weeks.
Hey, Lou, if I can say something real quick.
Sure.
When you watch at least, he'll correct me if I'm wrong, 2 college games a day, and look at it without, what do they call it, rose-colored glasses, without being a fan, you look at it as a professional.
Right.
Like Smokin Jim. I'm talking about Smokin Jim. And I'm just being serious. He said Bush wasn't going to be anything. He was right.
He was right.
I'm trying to think, and I'm not joking or any. I'm just being serious. I'm trying to think when he was wrong about a draft pick. Now,
stop! I'm gonna stop you right there. You remember Chase Claypool?
Yeah.
Jim missed on that. Jim.
Well, I don't Jim,
yes, he did. Jim missed on it. He asked Chicago, who traded a 2nd-round pick for him. They already want him gone.
Jim looked at it, his physicality. They didn't use him right. I mean, Jim doesn't know him as a person. Like whenever I scout somebody for professional baseball, I don't know what kind of guy he is. We only have a couple days to check.
But Claudia, we got a whole resume on him. He had one good year. That was his rookie year. And now that they got a book on them, Chicago's disappointed. The Steelers were disappointed. Jim has been right a lot, but Jim, you take a big L on Chase Claypool. Will you admit that, Jim?
Yeah.
But outside of that, you've been pretty right. You've been pretty right. But, I think you're going to be wrong about Broderick Jones as well. Jim, are you running from the police? I hear the sirens in the background. He didn't do it.
And just to correct you, Luther, and I think you know that I said on the radio show yesterday that I thought Nick Herbert was one of the top 5 outside linebackers in the NFL right now, and if High Smith gets hurt, he'll never get his job back.
Right.
So, and I do like Washington, but when you go into a draft and you already don't have 2 draft choices, a 5th and a 6th round choice, then you give up your first, 2nd, and 3rd round draft choice to move up 3 spots to get Sugar Bear. that is on the bench, and now Sean is talking about moving him from left tackle to right tackle. You don't move up for a right tackle. That's an automatic bust if that happens. I think
that's not an automatic
player. In my draft report, I had him as a guard because he's very athletic. I watched every game he played in college, every game he played in pros. He's yet to have one single pancake block. He don't like to hit nobody his size. He likes to get downfield as an athlete and beat up on them corners and safeties and outside linebackers. And I told you guys before the draft that Dan Moore was going to have a Pro Bowl season.
I didn't see it. I don't see it.
Going to earn his $170 million against Dan Moore. You know, Bosa got $170 million today.
Oh yeah, Bosa signed a big contract. So we're gonna have to.
Waited a week.
I wish he would have waited a week, but what did I tell you? Didn't I tell you on the radio show yesterday? Before Saturday, he would have a contract. I knew it was coming.
You was only on for 5 minutes.
I don't know if I was on that long. I don't know if I was on that long, but I appreciate Rob for having me on. Hey, real quick, we do have we got LD. We got LD on the line. LD, what's on your mind, buddy?
Hey, good evening to all of you.
All right, good evening. Good evening.
I was ready to say that Bosa had signed for $170 million.
Yeah, 5 years. 5 years.
Do you guys think that the defensive player for Kansas City will sign before Sunday's game or tomorrow night's game?
Not before tomorrow night. I think he might maybe for the second game, but I mean, this tomorrow night, I don't think he's going to sign. They're at a real stalemate, and I don't understand why Kansas City won't sign him. He's the only guy that brings pressure for them. You know?
Yeah, I know if I was in that front office, I would sign him immediately.
I would. I mean, your window is here. You have 2 Super Bowls. You got the best quarterback in the league, maybe ever. You know, you got to capitalize on this.
Jones ain't worth $34 million a year. Options ain't worth $34 million a year. So that's why he ain't signed.
Well, why isn't he worth it, Jim? Why isn't he worth it?
In my opinion.
To Kansas City?
He's not worth $34 million a year. And I wouldn't pay him either. And now
somebody will pay him.
More than Bosa.
Somebody will pay him. If they don't.
Okay, well, it ain't gonna be Kansas City.
So you think he's getting traded? You think he's getting traded? You think he's going to get traded, Jim?
I don't know. I wouldn't pay him that kind of money.
He's a great player, Jim. That's the going rate now for it.
A great player is Deacon Jones. A great player is Joe Green. A great player is Bosa. Jones ain't a great player.
Oh,
ain't a great player.
I think he's a good player, Jim.
Is he worth $34 million?
Listen, he's worth whatever the market says he is. He's worth whatever the market says he is, Jim.
Oh, okay. Well, not the Kansas City and the me. we super
All right. Hey, LD, what else is on your mind? I don't know. I think they need to get him back.
I want to say congratulations to Claudio.
Oh, yeah.
So much.
Time, Claudio.
That means a lot, LD. Thank you.
just one more thing. If you guys saw Colorado play, the player on that team that impressed me the most was Hunter. He's a receiver and he plays defensive back.
Yeah,
he's tremendous. If you see them play next Saturday, check him out.
Oh, he plays both ways. I hope Dion doesn't keep playing him like that, because the young man is a terrific player. Huh? He's going. There's nobody that can keep playing 100 plays like that. I mean, yeah, back in the day, but now these guys are glass. They get broken up, and he's not the thickest guy. Listen, I don't want to see him keep playing 100 plays a game. I'm sorry.
There's two things I want to see. I want to see that boy play 100 plays a game, and I want to see Dion keep wearing a hoodie in 100-degree weather. I want to see that.
He looks like you, Jim. A hoodie, a hat, sunglasses. Did you get the style? He got a style from you. I wonder if he got a do-rag on too. Yeah, I see a little similarity as I look at your picture on the screen, Jim. You got the hat. You just didn't have the hoodie on. But LD, how many games do you think they'll win? You know, we went through this record last time, and Jim, he said, what did you say? 10 wins, right, Jim?
What, the Steelers?
No, not the Steelers. We know you always say 8 wins for the Steelers. I'm talking about Colorado. You said we went through it.
They can win national. We didn't go over it, but they can win national championship.
Oh, here go Jim with the wild statements. How many do you think they could win, LD?
I haven't seen their schedule, but I'll just take a guess. I think they'll win 7 or 8 games at least.
That's what I said. I said 7 games. I think they could win, just mainly because they don't have the dogs on the defensive line. But they got all the skilled players you could want. They got a great quarterback, great coach, great coaching staff. You know, I like Dylan Edwards, the little running back who can just fly.
Yes.
They got a lot of talent, but I don't think they have the dogs up front. And I think once they face bigger teams, that's going to be an issue. But I got it with 7 wins. How about you, Claudio?
Luther, you exactly right. They don't have the big. You're exactly right. I do like Edwards a lot. I'm hoping that they went around 10 because it's a great story, and Dion is Dion. Nobody can promote better than him. He's not stuffy like the rest of these coaches.
Right.
And I've always been a fan. But after looking at the schedule, and Jim, and you know a lot more than I do, I'm thinking max maybe 8 games, because I think that first game was pure emotion.
Right.
But unfortunately, and I've been through it. Matter of fact, one time years ago, we were playing Carnegie Mellon. I kind of toned it down a little bit because I said maybe I'm driving my guys too much, because the second game we played doubleheaders. We'd win the first game, the second game we were flat. So how long can you keep up that passion, that energy? And then, like you said, whenever they start playing bigger guys, that may be a problem. But it's a great story, and I'm thinking 8 wins.
Okay. And Jim, you said national championship, right, Jim?
If they don't win the national championship, I think it'll be a disappointing year.
Come on,
They'll have to all come back and do it again next year.
From one win.
I think they at least make the BCS.
Jim, from one win to the national championship, that's what movies are made of. That's not happening.
Something. You got something. You think the fact that they're getting so much attention is going to maybe elevate them a little bit, because bowl games are about what? Money.
Yeah, they got to get it. What were you saying, Jim?
The TCU playing the national championship game last year.
And didn't they get blown out by 60? Did they get? Were they lost by 60?
Let me finish. TCU was the second best team in the country last year. They played TCU at TCU. TCU was ranked in the top 15, and they beat them at TCU in very hot conditions. That's national championship written all over it, bro.
That's one game. And as you go further down in the season, they can't afford a lot of injuries because, their first line are really good. But I think he had to bring in so many guys. What you see from the first team to the second team, you see a big steep in talent, especially at the defensive line and the offensive line. So once one of those guys go down, you're going to see a big difference. That's my only concern. I think next year, 7 or 8 wins.
That is the reason you only see 8 wins when they play 13 games, 13, 14 games.
Injuries, Jim. I don't think they have the depth right now, and they just put this team together, Jim.
As long as the quarterback don't get hurt, they all right.
Well, quarterback or Travis Hunter or Dylan Edwards or Horn.
Travis can get hurt.
No. Travis is the shutdown corner. He's catching 11 passes for 100 yards. No, neither one of those guys can get hurt.
The quarterback can't get hurt. Travis can get hurt.
Oh, all right, Jim. You're talking madness, man. Both of those guys are very important. Shador is the most important on offense. Travis is probably most important on defense.
Luther, last I looked, they have 4 different players that have over 100 yards receiving. It ain't just Travis. It's the quarterback.
Yeah, it's the quarterback, but he draws a lot of attention. He's pretty much unguardable.
They didn't even know who he was. What attention did he draw? He dropped 2 touchdowns. Maybe if they had somebody else in there, they'd have
Jim, the kid played 100 plays. He played 100 plays, and he put on a show. You're the only guy saying that they could win without him. No, they needed every one of those 11 catches, every one of his interceptions, every one of his 129 yards. I mean, it was a huge game, Jim. I don't know why you're not high on Travis Hunter, but
I love him. They can win without him.
No, they can't. It'll be very hard.
That's like saying Michigan couldn't win without Charles Woodson.
Michigan, he won the Heisman for a reason. He was doing it on both sides of the field.
Yeah, because they didn't like Peyton Manning. That was Peyton Manning's Heisman. You know it.
Well, if he would have beat Florida, maybe he could have said something about it. But he kept losing to Florida. Hey, LD, jump into the Steelers real quick. What do you think about their season? We didn't really get into it. We're going to talk more about it. Steelers pre-snap, but what are your thoughts? What do you think they can do? They look good in the preseason?
Yeah, well, I've told you guys, I think Pickett plays similar to Joe Montana.
You've been saying it, yes.
I think he's going to be fine. The Steelers also this year have more speed than they've had in a long time.
That's true.
Offensively and defensively. And the running game should be better this year.
Yeah, I think Jaylen Warren is going to really push Najee Harris. Najee, better get in there and do it because that Jalen Harris is getting more and more impressive every time I see him. Very explosive. He's the one running back that could take it 60 yards. Najee's.
Oh my goodness, the guy got 4.6 speed.
Well, hey, Jim, did he look like he was 4.7 on that 60-yarder in the preseason? No, he looked. Nobody caught him. Well, why didn't somebody catch him if he's that slow, Jim?
I didn't think he was slow. I think he 4.6.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Jim, aren't you the one who said Barry Foster? Didn't you call him the next Barry Foster?
Yeah, I think was the next Barry. I said he's the closest thing to Barry Foster we had since Barry Foster, who was the best running back in Steelers history, by the way.
Oh, come on, Jim. Barry Foster, the best in Steelers history? Wow.
Don't he got the single-season record?
Yeah, he had the most yards that season, but you're saying he was the greatest running back in Steelers history?
Hey, Luther, you're starting to worry me now a little bit.
Yeah.
that he's getting to him.
Yeah, man. Jim's talking nonsense. I've never heard that. Barry Foster's the best running back in Steelers history?
He did correct him.
I think Lee McGinnis might be up on it.
Oh, gosh. Lee McGinnis, Deion's toes will be cold soon. Come on, Lee. Lee thinks he's a stand-up comedian, man. Come on, Lee. Leave Deion alone, man.
Hey, Luther, I can't wait to get to our top 15 quarterbacks. I cannot.
Oh.
I want to see where y'all got Montana.
No.
I want to see where y'all got Montana.
Not in history. We're talking about this year. Top 15 this year.
I know. LB just called him Montana, and you agreed. So I want to see where you got him on that list.
Okay. Hey, listen, man. Kenny Pickett's going to make you a believer. You and Claudio will be believers in Kenny Pickett by game 10 of this year.
Joe Montana was never a game manager. Pickett will be at his best if he's a game manager. He'll make some splash plays, but he's going to be a game manager. I've said it before. He was a good number 2 pick, a great number 3 pick, a number 1 pick. You don't pick a game manager. Jim said about the draft picks for the Steelers, you have to have guys who make big impact. I don't know. I still think he's way overrated in my opinion. I need to see him this year and see what he does.
All right. Well, all I know is he took them from a 2-win team to almost making the playoffs last year, Claudio.
Hey, Claudio.
2 touchdowns in 1 game.
Claudio.
Yeah.
Hey, Claudio. I got $1,000 on San Francisco 49ers. Anybody want to join me, Lou? You want a piece of that? How much of that you want, Lou?
You putting 1,000 on San Francisco?
On San Fran.
Straight, or you giving points, Jim?
Who?
You.
The Steelers are getting points.
Right.
San Fran giving them 2.5. Steelers are underdogs.
Right. So you're not saying anything out of the ordinary, Jim.
I'll give you 2.5. If you want to go with the Steelers, how much you want, brother? I'll bring the money to your house right now.
Hey, well,
you can hold it.
Hey, Luther, we'll go to his house.
Yeah. For once, let's go to your house. Hey, LD, you have anything else? Because we have enough callers.
It's hard to beat the Steelers at home with a rookie quarterback playing for you.
Right.
I hope they put a lot of pressure on Purdy.
Yes. I am worried about Deebo Samuel getting loose because they move him all over the field. And of course, Christian McCaffrey he's not injured. You know, he usually gets injured about the 5th or 6th game. McCaffrey's going to be 100% healthy.
McCaffrey got 450 receptions and over 5,000 yards. Steelers ain't got nobody to check that boy.
Right. That's what I'm worried about. He's going to put up numbers, but we just have to slow him down.
You think they should have kept LD? Do you think they should have kept Garoppolo?
I would have. I mean, he was a winner. He was injured a lot, but he won for them constantly.
He made too much, and he wasn't getting the job done. And they wouldn't have been able to sign Nick Bosa.
That's the market.
They wouldn't have. Listen, if you look at San Francisco's payroll, they had to get rid of that guy. You know, they're paying him like a top quarterback, and he wasn't. He was a mediocre quarterback. You know.
Hey, Luther, where's Garoppolo now? Where's Jimmy G now?
He's probably doing one of his videos. You know, he likes to. He's with the Raiders. You know, he likes to hang out with those adult stars, Jim.
Maybe the Raiders can get Jones. Maybe the Raiders can get Jones.
Hey, LD, appreciate the call. You always call with great calls. We appreciate you, LD.
Thank you.
Just one question before I go.
Yes,
How
sir.
many games has Gateway won this year? Talk to you guys later.
Zero. Hey, let's stay on the phone lines. I think we have Mark. Mark. Is Mark on the line?
Yes. Hey,
how you doing, Mark? The legend, Mark Whitley. Yes, sir.
yes, sir. Hey, man, listen, I told you, guys, I love watching you guys. I can't even spell sports because I like hearing all of your reports and what y'all do. But let me just give you my vote. I hope this is a one-time special here because I love you guys in the studio. I love all three of you on the screen and how you vibe off of each other. So I just want to put my vote in for that. Don't know what your plans are. Secondly, I haven't seen and missed your longtime sidekick, Kelly. At some point, you got to bring him back because I love his observations as well on the sports and on different things. But I called to raise a couple of questions, and then I'll try to, put them out there and let you guys respond. Can somebody explain to me
the second team or what? The Steelers got rid of. They had to get this roster down to 53. But then the next day they turned around and said, well, 6 or 8 of them they put them on their second team. And can somebody just at some point when I hang up explain that to me? So that means, are they still on the payroll, or are they like on a like the practice squad or something? Do they get the benefits and the whole bit? Their base. I know somebody knows that. Secondly, I still believe that unofficially the Steelers and the Roonies and Steeler management are conducting their unofficial tryouts of moving this NFL team forward without having an African-American quarterback on staff. I pray for Kenny Pickett. I still believe that this should have been his second and final year on the sidelines with his baseball cap turned backwards, a headset, and a clipboard, being a student of the game. But instead, they threw him in the fire. I don't believe that he's built for this game. I'm hoping he doesn't get a hit, because you have to look at who his backups are. They are average. Trabumsky has a great body. He sees the field very well, but he doesn't produce the way he should be in terms of a veteran. And then Mason, I just think he's angry. You know what I mean? I just think he's angry, and you'll get some sparks from him here nor there. And so I am just hoping and praying that we don't have to go to the second, third quarterback in any particular case. Finally, is it time that we begin locally to talk about restructuring the city league? And if so, wouldn't it be a nice possibility to just combine all the schools and have 4 teams coming out of Pittsburgh, and then allowing them to compete throughout the WPIAL? Hey, thank you guys, and I'll hang up and listen. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mark.
Thanks. The legendary Mark Brentley always has the greatest questions. I appreciate that. All right. So Jim, do you want to take the first one about the practice squad? Yes.
The practice squad used to get about $100,000 a year. They upped it to $11,500 per game, which is a little over $200,000 for the year. So they get $11,500 a week.
Right. Yeah, and now I believe Kenny Pickett, he did get cut, but is he on the practice squad? I believe so, right, Jim? Kenny Robinson. I said Kenny Pickett. Kenny Robinson.
Is the practice squad of Monty's home games?
Oh, come on, man.
Yeah, he's on the practice squad, man. He was starting all preseason. I don't even know why they cut him.
Yeah. Man. So hopefully he's able to stick this time and really make some things happen. All right, yeah. So yeah, a lot of those guys, some of those guys who got cut are on the practice squad, like Smokin Jim was saying. You want to take the second question, Claudio?
And what's the question again? Second one?
What was this? The second one was about the quarterbacks. Listen, I think Kenny Pickett is great. He came in as a very mature 26-year-old. I like the way they moved him. They didn't start him right away. They let the team suffer through Mitch Trubinsky, and then they brought him in. He energized the team. He led them from 2 wins to 9 wins. I think it was excellent. I'm impressed with him. In the preseason, he showed more leadership. The arm is stronger. Hey, much like David Davis, Smokin Jim, he put on 20 pounds of muscle. Not the 40 pounds that David Davis did at Amani, but he put on 20 pounds of muscle. I'm excited. He's showing leadership. He's throwing the deep ball better and more accurately. I'm excited about this year.
I understand the excitement. I understand, but I do understand what Mark said. That they're basically all the same type quarterback. There's no you can't hang your hat on one of those guys and say this guy's going to carry us through. If they're in the lead, I think Kenny Pickett might be okay. But if they're behind, how is he going to be? That's another way to look at it. Now, I think that they're putting all their eggs in that Kenny Pickett basket because I think they have a lot of faith in the running game, and they obviously have a lot of faith in the defense. But I think everybody's going crazy over Pickett when in fact he's a nice part of the team. He's an okay part of the team. He's not going to be a guy that's going to like a Dan Marino. Everybody talk about him. He's not Montana. He's not an Elway. He's not a Peyton Manning. He's not. Who is he a top 10 quarterback right now? Is he one of the top 3 quarterbacks in his division?
Well, that's one of the things we said we were going to do. Do our top. Let's get to it. Let me say this. I agree. Mark Brentley was saying something about the City League and what they should do with the City League. Lee said, I agree with Mark Brentley about the City League. Yeah, the City League has to do something. There's only 4 or 5 teams. I would like to see them move in more with the PIAAs because now you have a bye week or they're playing teams. They have to do something. There's just not enough teams. Carrick is independent right now because they're not even really playing a City League roster. Yes, I agree with Mark. I'd like to see them fully implemented into the WPIAL system because it's hard to run a 4 league team. So, yeah, I agree with Mark on that. And Lee, I agree. All right, let's get to this top 15 quarterbacks. Claudia, you want to go first?
You know what? I'm going to be up front. I didn't get that text about the 15 quarterbacks, but I think everybody's going to say the same guys. I don't have an order. Now, if we talked about time, that'd be different. But I still think Mahomes is up there, obviously the best. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to have a big year. I still think Garoppolo, if you were comparing, I think he's
come on. Ooh.
I do. So again, with the guy from Cincinnati,
Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow.
I think I wasn't impressed with him at the beginning, but I'm more impressed with him now.
He's a winner. Yes.
Tua, I'm not so sure yet. I'm not going to go crazy about him. Deshaun, I think Watson is going to have a big time season.
Okay.
If he needs help. But so that forgive me to our audience. I didn't get that. I didn't check that email, that text to give us a list. But again, I think Aaron Rodgers is going to have a big year this year and take the Jets to the playoffs. NFC, boy, again, forgive me.
Yeah, I know you got Dak Prescott or Jalen Hurts or some of those guys.
Prescott is going to put up numbers, but is he a winner? Is he going to take them to the promised land? I don't think so. Hurts obviously is big time. I've always liked him from day one. Again, that's pretty much you guys have a much better list than I do.
All right, Jim, you want to go next?
No, I don't want you piggybacking off my list. You can go, Lou.
I promise you I won't do that. All right, if we're going top 15, you got to start off with Pat Mahomes. Chiefs, 2-time Super Bowl winner, numerous MVPs. Then you got to look at it. A Joe Burrow took his team, made Cincinnati a winner. They were the Bungles. Since he's been there, they've become the Bengals. He's that good. Jalen Hurts for the Eagles. I expect bigger things. I think they win it if he doesn't get hurt. Towards the end of the season, he didn't play that Super Bowl healthy. He's a top quarterback. Lamar Jackson in our division. He can do it all. I expect big things from him. Josh Allen for the Bills. Very great athletic quarterback. He needs to do some more things in the playoffs. And still, I got Aaron Rodgers. He's also a top 15 quarterback this year. Other guys you have to look at, I do have Dak Prescott for the Dallas Cowboys in my top 15. I have Trevor Lawrence for the Jacksonville Jaguars in my top 15. I have Tua Tagovailoa for the Miami Dolphins if he could stop getting concussions. He's in my top 15. This guy's very overhyped. He's just like Phillip Rivers, puts up a lot of numbers, but doesn't show up in the playoffs. Justin Herbert is also in my top 15. He's a guy you have to look at. Kirk Cousins, a guy who never shows up for big games, but he puts up a lot of good numbers. I have him number 14 and fighting for 15A. And, Geno Smith tied with Kenny Pickett. I do have Kenny Pickett as a top 15 quarterback this year. I think Smokin Jim and Claudio, you guys will see the light by game 10. I didn't say he's the best. I didn't say top 10, but he's definitely top 15. I saw a list that had him down at 28 or 27. I don't agree with that this year. I got him as a top 15 quarterback. Lee McGinnis, Kenny Pickett, the next Todd Blackledge. All right, Lee. All right, so what do you have?
All right, good. That was a very good little salute. Here we go. 15C, Baker Mayfield. 15B, Lamar Jackson. 15A, Derek Carr. Number 14, Kyler Murray. Number 13, Tua. Number 12, Justin Fields. Number 11, Aaron Rodgers. Number
11?
10, Dak Prescott. Number 9, Deshaun Watson. Number 8B, Jordan Love. Number 8,
Jordan.
Brock Purdy.
Brock Purdy.
Number 7, Trevor Lawrence. Number 6, Justin Herbert. Number 5, the great one, Joe Burrow. Number 4, Josh Allen. Number 3, Jalen Hurts. Number 2, Russell Wilson.
Oh my God.
And number one, Patty Mahomes.
Okay, Jim, I'm not going to say anything. We said 15. You had about 25 quarterbacks. So
Hey, Luther.
That's the
Hey,
first
Luther,
one.
what's worse, this top 10 heavyweight, pound for pound, or the quarterbacks?
Oh gosh, I think it's heavyweights is worse.
Okay.
This is just as bad. Jim, you said Russell Wilson is number 2.
Number 2, Kissing Babies.
Okay, his coach just warned him. He said, "Stop focusing so much on kissing babies and having babies with Sierra, and throw some touchdowns." So I think he can't wait to put Russell Wilson on the bench. But you got him number 2. I see him riding the bench by game 11 because Sean Payton doesn't seem like he has a lot of faith in him. I mean, when you're making that type of statement publicly, saying you want him to stop kissing babies like he's running for office, come on, man. That's Russell Wilson. He's a nice guy. He's the good guy.
So, Luther and Jim, tell me if you agree with this. Sometimes a head coach, his ego gets in the way, and he doesn't want to win because he doesn't want to win with Russell Wilson. Like when Elway was there and Montana and all these other guys, the coach wants it to be him and the guy that he chooses. I don't know if Sean Payton's that way or not, but I wouldn't get rid of Russell Wilson. But do you think that could be the case? He wants to win without Russell Wilson?
Yeah, that's what I kind of think. I think Sean Payton's maybe the most overrated coach in the last 10 years. All that talent he had at New Orleans, he's won 1 Super Bowl. How many times was he a number 1 seed and got exploited, got knocked out early? He's very overrated. Not saying he's a bad coach, but people put him up there with the Bill Belichick's, the Andy Reid's, the Mike Tomlins, all the other good coaches. I don't see it. You know, I see him fold too much. I see too many times that his team is not prepared and they're a number 1 seed and they get knocked out before getting to the championship. So I think he's very overrated. And I think Russell Wilson needs to be worried about his job because it looks like he can't wait to put him on the bench. Like you said, Claudio, he wants to prove he can win with his quarterback and his style other than, doing what's best for the team. So we'll see. I don't know how you have him number 2 still.
Well, 3 months from now, you'll have him number 2.
And Jordan, you have Jordan Love ahead of Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Come.
Didn't he just beat out Rodgers?
No, he didn't. Rodgers asked for a trade. If he beat him out, they would have cut him, Jim.
They could have said no, but Jordan Love beat him out.
They didn't even shot. Get out, Jim. Come on, stop, man. There's no way you can say Jordan Love is better than Aaron Rodgers. Even as old as Aaron Rodgers is, he's better than Jordan Love, Jim. Come on.
Well, that's why
you have Brock. Okay, you have Brock Purdy ahead of Lamar Jackson, who won an MVP. Brock Purdy couldn't even get through a season with his arm intact.
Lamar Jackson can't throw.
Well, he threw well enough to get an MVP.
Jackson has a much better arm. Jackson has a much better arm than people give him credit for. I think he's the most dangerous quarterback in the league,
Right.
in my opinion. And as far as Herbert's another guy, I'm a little higher on him than you are, Luther. Why aren't you that crazy about him?
Because I've seen him fold too many times in big games. Yes, he's a young quarterback. He is the highest paid quarterback in NFL history and has won nothing. He barely got his team into the playoffs and lost. He's another Philip Rivers.
Yes.
Hey, Claudio.
Yes.
Ask the question, Jim.
Justin Herbert. Luther ain't high on Justin Herbert because he's white.
Okay, Jim.
That's the only reason.
Yeah, but I'm high on Kenny Pickett because he's good.
Like Herbert. Not like Kirk Cousins.
Oh, Kirk Cousins, another guy. These guys put up empty stats. I don't like that. I want you to put up stats when they count, not folding in the playoff time after time after time. That's Kirk Cousins. That's Phillip Rivers. That's going to be Justin Herbert. I don't like those guys.
That's Lamar Jackson.
Well, we'll see. Lamar Jackson has more playoff wins than Herbert and Cousins combined.
I know he's been hurt the last 2 years.
All right.
I
Well,
know he's been hurt the last 2 years.
hey, listen, man. I want to. Man, this hour went way too quick. And Mr. Brentley, yes, we want to get back in the studio as soon as possible. Hopefully, we can do that very soon. I love being in the studio. But I appreciate all the callers for Smokin Jim, for Claudio, the Hall of Famer. I'm Luther Dupree. Make sure you check out the website, SC Sports World. We have a lot of great things going on, covering Amani football and doing a lot of great things. So make sure you participate, get some of the gear, all of that stuff. We got a lot of great things planned. Boxing Authority's coming back better than ever pretty soon. On that note, I want to thank Smokin Jim, Claudio, everybody who called the show. And we'll check you out next time. Website, scsportsworld.com. Peace.